So, this is going to be the best day of my life. As hot as it is, this is going to be the best day of my life. So here's the question. Why can you say that? It's not just words. If you actually say to you, when you wake up in the morning, how many times have you ever woken up and said, you know what? Today's going to be the best day ever.
Yes, you know I say that every day.
Reverend Karen says that every day. This is going to be the best day ever. So it's just words, depending on how much you mean it, how much you believe it, and if you really believe it, nothing derails you from it. How often have you woken up and said, today's going to be a great day, and within 2 hours, not so much? Who said that? Dell just said every day. You're about to graduate high school, things will change. So that's really what I want to talk about today. How it's very easy to say, this is going to be the best day of my life. This year is going to be the best year of my life. New Year's Eve resolutions. Revolutions. New Year's Eve resolutions. You know, all these things we say, this is what I'm going to do. And then how long before it changes or morphs into something else? But my real question today is, what is behind your ability to say these things? Why can you really say these things? Why can you say, this is going to be the best day of my life? And it's not because it's like graduation day from high school, or you're getting married today, or you're getting divorced today. It's not because, I thought I'd put those two together. It's not because some amazing thing is going to happen today. It's just, this is going to be the best day of my life. Why can we say that? Well, Ernest Holmes says this: dare to speak and to know that what you speak is the law. Dare to speak and to know that what you speak is the law. What you speak is the law of your life. If you wake up and say, "Oy, the day I have before me," then your day is going to unfold like any day that starts with, "This is going to be hard," because your word is the law of your life. So it behooves us to follow Reverend Karen and wake up every day and say, this is going to be the best day, no matter what. And those three words are so important. It's like my whole ministry. No matter what. And I really mean no matter what. It doesn't matter what you are looking at, what you are facing. It only matters who's facing it. That is all that matters. So, dare to speak and know that what you speak is the law. So when I was going over these lyrics, there's so many beautiful lyrics in this song, but when I was listening to it, I got the sense that this song was written at like daybreak after an all-night party. Do you feel that when you hear it? The sun is rising and oh my God, it's the next day, and this is going to be the best day of my life because it's following the most amazing night of my life. And the title of my talk is, Let's Party. It's not exactly what you think, but it is that too. So when I'm listening to this song, I was suddenly like catapulted back to when I was like 27 years old, and I'd come out to Los Angeles to shoot a TV pilot. And I had just starred on Broadway. In case you didn't know, I was a Broadway actor. I know, it shocks a lot of people. And I came out here to do this TV pilot, and I fell madly in love. I've had 3 great loves of my life, and the final one, of course, being my husband, who is the greatest love of my life. But I was madly in love at that time with the greatest love of my life, number 2. So everything was just amazing. And we had gone, and this person was going to UCLA, interestingly enough, finalizing his graduate studies. And we had gone to this college party, but I wasn't in college anymore, but they all were. And they were all ready to get out into the world. So it was this party that started in Malibu and ended up in the top of Mulholland Drive watching the sunrise. And it was just this amazing night. And it was freezing because I remember everybody kept telling me I looked like an Oompa Loomp. And I had one of those hooded things on that only allowed my little face out and this big parka. But it was the most amazing night. And I remember sitting at the top of Mulholland watching the sunrise, surrounded by people whose lives were just burgeoning. Mine was burgeoning. I'd starred in a Broadway show. I now had a TV pilot in the can. I was like, oh my God, life just doesn't get any better than this. I think that's when this song was written. This is going to be the best day of my life. And that's a metaphor. This is going to be the best day. This is going to be the best life ever. I am going to live the best life ever. Now, at the time, I wasn't in any type of religion other than I was still sort of 1 foot in Catholicism. And I felt a little guilty about feeling so good. Nothing against Catholicism, but it didn't exactly teach me positive thinking. But I just remember sitting there thinking, it just can't get any better than this. And then I go to another moment in my life when Kevin and I were doing the musical I'd written. Did you know I wrote musicals too? Yes, I wrote a musical called An Unfinished Song, and we were in Maine where we tried out the show was a huge bomb off Broadway. We went to Maine, huge hit. Boston, huge hit. And the day that Boston Chronicle came out, this gorgeous picture of Kevin and I in color on the Arts and Leisure saying, this show is a huge hit. We went for this beautiful ride, and it was like, this day, nothing could beat this day until, and I know you've told you this story, until an electric horse arm decided to chop my arm off practically as I drove under it with a bike. Right after I had just said, this day couldn't get any better. I was right. It couldn't get any better. It just got worse from then on. So these moments in our lives when we are so clear, but it's based on things that have happened. Now, the first story I told you is not based on anything that happened. It was based on the energy of that young, I love Lindy said it, as my kids are getting ready to go to college and step into a whole new world, it's exciting to just think of how much world there is for them to step into. So, couple of the lyrics. With all the possibilities, this is a great lyric, with all those possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Epiphanies. When was the last time you had an epiphany? Yesterday. Except for Reverend Karen, who apparently lives a charmed life. So here's what an epiphany is, just so you know. Kelly, I know you've had many epiphanies on camera. An appearance. An epiphany is an appearance or sudden manifestation of the divine. So an epiphany is where all of a sudden you recognize your oneness. You recognize your connection to something. And sometimes you don't even know you're recognizing your connection. When you're watching the sunrise after a night of partying and the sky is magenta and with a little bit of Celine? Oh, Celine Dion in it singing. When you recognize this, what you're really recognizing is something inside yourself. Another definition for epiphany is an intuitive grasp of reality through something such as an event, usually simple and striking. So I want you to think for a minute, when was your last epiphany? When was the last time you had that moment where you went, oh my, this is who I am. This is what it's all about. When's that last moment you just had? I can tell you, yesterday, I designed my day yesterday. It was one of those weird days where I had nothing planned, nothing whatsoever. So I went to the gym, I decided I'd do some gardening, and I decided I'd do some writing. And so I did it, just in that order. My priority list panned out perfectly. But while I was gardening, I was sitting in the yard, and I had dirt all around me, and I'm trying to, no offense, Nick, I know you're going to come in there and go, what the hell were you thinking? But I had fun. I was trying to fill this dirt in that Nick had told me about 5 months ago to fill into the fireball. So I'm filling it in. I bought all these things to put in the dirt, and I'm having the best time, and I turn around, and my dog Doofus, my Doofus dog, Cooper, has decided, I've pulled out some weeds, to take the weeds, and he is chewing them and throwing them in the air, and Mia is catching them. And I'm like, and I just had this moment of, I love my life. I just love my life. Look at them. They have found these weeds, and it's occupying them, and their tails are wagging, and they're laughing. Did you ever hear a dog laugh? They're just like, ha, ha, ha. It's like amazing. And it's exactly what they do. And I'm just watching them thinking, this is it. This is God. This is my highest self. I don't need to go write a bestseller, although I'm writing one. I don't need to succeed at 10 million things. I need to just be, and the successes come. I need to just sit in this. I need to have epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. I need to see God, see God, see God. Next lyric. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright. The sun was out till midnight. I say we lose control. When was the last time you lost control? Karen, last night? Yeah. For the rest of you, when was the last time you allowed yourself to lose control? Now, I can tell you, I like control. Right, Barbara? I like control. But here's the thing. I thought about this with this talk. I was like, wait a minute. Does that mean I'm so controlling I'm not allowing? No. I love to control from a space of creativity and just keep painting different things. So it may not be what everybody else sees. It's what I see. And if it's mine to do, I get to create that palette and throw colors on it until I like what I see, right? So when was the last time you threw away your I should and just let it happen? Just now. Yes. Okay, good. Yes, you did. Yes, and you did. I've never seen you act like that. No, it was great. When I saw you come over here and lean down and sing to them, I was like, she is out of control. And all that movement and everything. But that's what the whole talk's about today. When was the last time you got up here and moved your booty? When's the last time you really went out of control? I mean, really, control, it's just not that important. Behind the out of control is the truth. The truth is always in control. So let your wanky out. No, it really is about letting. Here's what I'd like to say. When I get up here on Sundays, God is speaking through me. So you can have a problem with that word. It's not my problem. But seriously, maybe you have now. Maybe you're letting it out right now. Right? When was the last time you just threw all inhibitions aside and just did it? When was the last time you were like Elaine on Friends? Remember that episode where she's dancing? And she doesn't care, and everybody else just stands about, not Friends, Seinfeld. And she's just like, and she's doing this awful, and everybody just stops and watches her. She didn't care. She was out of control, and then everyone else controlled. Just watching, trying to control what it should look like. Do you know where genius comes from? You letting go and not telling whatever it is you're doing how it should look. I'll tell you, all you parents out there, you know how hard it is to watch your children being so creative in ways that you think are not totally correct. And if you're a parent, how many times have you gone through that? Right? Yeah, we've all done it. And you will too when you become a parent. And then you'll go, oh my God, his life, he was so good at this. So, are you ready to let go? To just lose control? So, he says there's a party. Oh, no. So now I want to go to the first song we opened with. Who knew that wedding song was metaphysical? Right? So the celebration song, every lyric is divinely metaphysical. Listen to this. There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. There is a party going on right here, and it's going to last forever because God is a party. That's what God is, greatness on demand, goofiness on demand. Right? God is just this energy that wants to be and wants to move itself through you as whatever your creative mind decides to do with it. And that might not be the best in your best interest to decide to do with God something boring or something mundane or something safe. How many of us take the safe route? You know, I was watching a video of myself the other day. No, I had just pulled out this video of a show I did, and it was when I learned to do the tightrope walking, and I was watching myself so free, so like fearless, and I was like, wow, I haven't done anything that dangerous in a long time. And instantly my mind said, you're older now. And I was like, so? I can be just as dangerous at 63 as I was at 43. And at 103, I probably won't even care. Right? Yep. I know, where's Joe Jordan? You don't even care anymore, do you? You just do it. Of course, after the pole dance last week we talked about. Yeah. So there's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. Here's the best part. So bring your good times and laughter too. It doesn't say go find good times. It says bring your good times and your laughter too. We're going to celebrate your party with you. So it's up to you to bring your good times. You are the good times. You don't go find the good times. You are the good times. How many of you have walked into a room and brought the party to the room? The rest of you are like, wow. Get started, get busy, right? You bring your party to a room. When I say let's party, I mean let's let our God out and bring it wherever we go. Don't bring your problems. Don't bring your stories. How many of you go to parties and sit down with the other depressing person in the room and tell them how bad your life is? No, I know you don't. I know it's only a couple of you. But how many times do you catch yourself in your story? That's how you're celebrating life? By telling your story, this last thing that happened and this thing that happened. I love this. Bring your good times and your laughter too. And then it's time to come together. It's up to you. I love this. What's your pleasure? That's right on the heels of allow me. There's that in you that's saying, what's your pleasure? What's your pleasure? What do you want to do, Sydney? What do you want to do in life? Right, Brad? What's your pleasure? It's like God is the eternal bartender, just there at Cheers Bar, just saying to you, everybody knows my name. It's God. What can I do for you? What's your pleasure? And then you get it, right? You're all like, it's hot, move it along. So it's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on. I love that Pauline Pancake went off on vacation. Are you up there, Mike? Okay. She went off on vacation and stayed on vacation. She just kept, right, Mike? She's coming back. But she just kept writing, saying, I'm going to stay. I'm extending my vacation. I'm extending my vacation. So Pauline, when you watch this, because now Mike's going to tell you to watch this, when you watch this, I'm here to tell you, you should extend it for all time and eternity. And that doesn't mean you have to stay where you are. Come home. Bring your vacation to us. Bring your party to us and let it keep going. Why do we wait to go on vacation? Why do we suffer all year just to go to Palm Springs for a week in August? That's what Kevin and I used to do. We would work all year, and then we'd take those 2 weeks in Palm Springs in August. In August! But we love the heat, so it's good. So I'm doing fine up here. Okay, Martha Graham. Martha Graham wrote, it's just for you, Audrey. Think of the magic of that foot, comparatively small, upon which your whole weight rests. It's not unlike what you said, Lindy. It's a miracle. And the dance is a celebration of that miracle. Isn't that beautiful? This tiny little foot that holds everything, especially if you stand on one of them, right? This tiny little foot. And Martha Graham was an amazing dance teacher. But I will tell you this, you haven't lived till you've studied with someone like Jerome Robbins, who does these pirouettes where you grab your foot onto your back of your knee and turn 5 or 6 times as you're falling into the floor. That's this little foot and celebrating dance, which I'm not going any further than that. Right? And then Bjork. You all know the singer Bjork that showed up at the Oscars in the swan outfit? Right. Bjork, she said this. I love this. Singing is a celebration of oxygen. Singing is a celebration. Everything can be celebrated. Everything can be celebrated, right? Jose Andres, Spanish-American chef. You all know him? Anybody know him? Well, now you'll know him when I tell you this. He said this, tapas is a celebration of life. He invented tapas. He's the guy that brought these little dishes here, right? So everything is possible as a celebration. So my question for you as you go through this month, this great month we have before us, this celebration month, what are you willing to celebrate? And I mean willing. What are you willing to celebrate? What are you willing to call celebratory? What are you willing to notice in your life that desires your celebration? You know, we're very willing to point out what's wrong. We can point out what's wrong so fast and then share it with the next person and then talk about it with this person. We throw parties to celebrate what's wrong. We do. We literally share the celebration of what's wrong. And when Ernest Holmes said, show me a man who is for something and against nothing, that's what he was talking about. What if we just celebrate what's right in the world? I'm not saying we should ignore what's wrong, but I'll tell you, if you're celebrating what's right, you're actually dealing with what's wrong because you put enough light into the world and that other stuff goes away. So this month, what are you willing, absolutely willing to celebrate? So I decided to do something interesting this month for these 4 weeks, and my third point of every talk, it's going to be called Point It Out. And I'm just going to flip open the signs of my textbook and point to something and read it and see how it applies to what I'm talking about. Probably if it doesn't, I'll do another one. No, kidding. This one worked perfectly. So we're going to close with Ernest Holmes. He says, the limit of our ability to demonstrate depends upon our ability to provide a mental equivalent of our desires. Because the law of correspondence works from the belief to the thing. From the belief to the thing. If the belief is celebrating, the thing must be that which is worth celebrating. So if you are willing to spend your mind this month on celebrating everything in your life, everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it, if you are willing to celebrate whatever's going on in your life and to find new things to celebrate through the law of correspondence, it must show up in your world as even that much more expanded. So here you go. You've got an entire month to really celebrate what this thing is. You get a whole month to celebrate yourself. However you want this world to show up, celebrate it, and then watch it show up. Namaste.